Hi, this is Eddie Grassi from Emotional Intelligence and You. And at the moment, I'm just waiting for a few more people to join up and get started here. Uh, I am a life coach in San Francisco, and I work with just about everything, although I'm a specialist in some things like relationships, healing people with personal anxiety, anger, depression, those kinds of things. So I just want to welcome everyone here. I'm just going to pause for a minute because a few people are still in the waiting room, and I'm going to just have them join. All right, I'm going to just chat here for a second. All right, I see we have Shalini here and others. Maybe I shouldn't call out names from the waiting room because I'm kind of new to all this. And I want to make sure. All right, so I'm going to start. And the topic of this came to me the other day because I was feeling kind of frustrated and wasn't sure what to do, felt a little confused emotionally. With COVID-19 going on, it brings a lot of this kind of stuff up for people, and I imagine people listening in. And so I thought, why not dig in a little bit to understand more about our emotions and what are the things that we haven't realized yet in life that we still want, is sort of the focus, and how to get there using our emotions. So our emotions can be like a real tool, a real toolbox that we can take with us wherever we go. It is not something that's inaccessible. They are there for you. We were born with them for a reason. And understanding those emotions and why they are there and what role they play in our lives is going to help us to achieve whatever dream we want. So if you want to take a minute to just think to yourself, what is something you really want out of life? It could be something you want tomorrow, today. It could be something you have been dreaming about for a long time. And just kind of hold that in your thoughts for a minute. Did you know that there is a way to get whatever you want, and it doesn't involve any money at all? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. What I'm telling you isn't a new discovery, and it's not something I made up. It's not fake news. The truth is, I knew it actually a long time ago. I feel that a little guilty because it's only now, all these years later, that I'm kind of going back to this refuge. And it was like a buried treasure for me that was forgotten a long time ago. So the good news is, though, is that I found the key and to this treasure chest. And you might be wondering, well, what's in it? Well, this may sound a bit weird, but the answer is feelings. That's what's in this treasure chest. And you'll probably understand why, I hope, by the end, because then you'll know what I mean, how this is so valuable. And so you're right. Feelings may sound a little strange, but you see, it's our feelings that are the gold coins and the precious stones of ourselves, which can lead us to be able to accomplish anything we want in this world. That means no matter how great or challenging the goal or dream you have, your feelings, if you have awareness of what you're trying to tell you and what they're trying to say, they're going to guide you wherever you need to go. So that's really important. These feelings are like messengers. Okay. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about that. Give you some insight into the nature of feelings. I'm just going to go through, and at the end, have a little exercise hopefully we can all participate in, which I think will get you closer to understanding your feelings, which will then enable you to get and get whatever you need. Truly, I mean this, they will. It's a pretty bold claim that I'm making, and I'm not the first one, however, to say this. Years of behavior science and research has actually revolutionized the way our thinking is working and what feelings are actually the ones we need to pay attention to and also how we can work with them. So years of science in behavior science has helped us to understand this is not, anything that is disputed. It's really coming out. It's new, but it's not. What I'm trying to say is, in this age of made up stuff, it's rare to find things that really are backed up with science. We know, like, for example, that our feelings can filter our perceptions and guide our responses to all of our experiences. I'll just say that again. Our feelings are with us all the time. Sometimes they're a little bit not so active, but they're always filtering the way we experience things. Okay? So if you think about that for a minute, the way we experience things can be changed if we change the way we perceive them through the filter of our feelings. Okay, if that makes sense. If you can control and master your feelings, it's going to change the way you experience things in the world more to your own liking. It will give back what I think is a feeling of helplessness and lost control that we have, especially in this time when we're all struggling to get by and be safe from the pandemic. So I just want to get back to this idea of whatever you want or need, because who doesn't want to pursue whatever they want or need? Our feelings hold great power. The word emotion itself comes from a Latin word which actually means move or go to something. So the very word itself encompasses this idea that we're supposed to act or to move or go or take action. That's the purpose of our feelings. It's not anything more simple than that, or complicated than that. It's just, that's what they are. Messengers to help us out, to give us a greater connection to the world and more control over our own actions and choices. Another way to say this is that your emotions are sort of like the engines that power every move you make. If you think of a car needs gas or electricity to move along, well, it's your feelings that are the drivers behind your body and where you go and what you decide to do. The thing about emotions, though, is that they can be very difficult at times to read, okay? And what I mean by that is to interpret. You or others might say to you, hey, why are you so angry? Or you may ask yourself, why am I so sad today? Or, which is nicer, why am I feeling so happy today? Others may ask that of you. And this common phrase is tossed around every day. Oh, why are you feeling so blue today? And I think a lot of people don't want to respond to that and answer that question. And when they ask it of themselves, they don't even know the answer themselves. Why? Because we haven't done a lot of work with emotions. So the answer probably isn't always really on the tip of our tongue. Sometimes it may be very easy, like I'm feeling sad because I miss my friends. I'm feeling angry because I lost my keys today and it sent me in a whirlwind of panic. Or I'm feeling anxious today because tomorrow I have a big presentation to give or I have a test I have to study for. Sometimes the answer is obvious, but other times it's not so obvious. So that's what this is about today, is to try to get to be friends with our emotions so that our emotions can aid us in what we're doing, so we can make decisions that lead us to happier lives, to get wherever you want to be. So while the answers to these questions may not be as apparent or easy to unravel, your emotions don't need to be cryptically mysterious parts of you that just confuse you either, okay? So it may be difficult to untangle them, but they don't have to remain this mysterious elusive thing that we can't get in touch with, that just keeps popping up in us, but we keep pushing away from it. Just to repeat, emotions are here to help, okay? That goes against popular belief, actually, because in our culture, a lot of us are taught not to act with our emotions, not to use our emotions like they're separate and apart from our rational thoughts that we have. But nothing could be further from the truth. Our emotions are intricately tied. In fact, some people believe emotion precedes thought, okay, rather than thought, and then you have an emotion. So I don't want to get too into it. The challenge is to learn how to really understand what emotions are asking us to do, okay? So if we have anxiety, we have anger, these are emotions that we all feel, depression, sadness, along with guilt, perhaps. These are here for a reason. That's the first thing to accept. Once you can get to that point, you've actually made a lot of progress. Is knowing that it's okay to have these feelings, and it's not a bad thing to feel guilty all the time. It actually can be helpful. It can lead as a signal to you doing something to feel better about a past decision or action that you took, so that maybe you can rectify that, for example. So again, the challenge is really to ask and figure out, what are they asking us to do? All right. And if it sounds difficult to do and maybe intimidating, well, that's because it actually is. I wouldn't be making this video otherwise. But I'm here to help you to find out more about your feelings as well as mine and what they're trying to tell me. Okay. So this is an exercise, not just me like I'm some pro here, but because I am also going through similar things and trying then to also pass on what I'm learning to my audience. And I have to say, truthfully, I really, really want my emotions to work for me and not against me. And that is true for you as well. I want your emotions to work for you and not against you. I mean, if you think about it, how many times do our emotions get the better of us? You heard that phrase before. Oh, anger took over, or they couldn't, get out of their depression. When are those emotions? We hear a lot about these unsuccessful stories going wrong. So I want to allow them rather to be doing their intended work, which is to actually be helpers for what we want and what we need in life to feel good. Okay. I'm just going to try to wind down here a little bit. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I want to get to the exercise at the end. So I just want to recap. I started off talking about fulfilling your dreams by understanding your emotions, and I'm getting to that. The thing is that emotions aren't there just to guide us to riches and material goods. Okay. While those things are beautiful, beautiful car or money to go on a vacation or buy a beautiful house or whatnot, the clothes that you so desire to be dressed in, whatever it might be, the emotions that are there to help us reach those goals. But that's obviously not everyone's goal. For many of us, it's just to be at peace for a few minutes a day, or to find relief from stressful hours at work. In this time of our lives, it may be to find escape from the struggle of living away from the ones we love, as we try to juggle against and balance this out against the need to be safe from the pandemic. I believe that is a challenge all of us feel from all angles of our life every day as we sit here going through this. All of these are worthy goals to pursue. All right. Let's just bring me down. I'm going to try to wind this down. I just want to make sure that we understand that emotions clearly before we make emotions are important to pay attention to, especially before we make a big decision or take a certain course of action. So for example, if we have a feeling of anxiety of being late for an important appointment, in the rush to avoid being late, we may end up making costly mistakes that make us even later, which makes us even more stressed out. Okay. So this is where emotions need to be understood correctly, because if not, the example I showed or just said can actually make you feel worse and make things go completely in the opposite direction that your anxiety or whatever it is actually trying to use to help you. The message gets completely distorted. And what happens is our emotions, we have emotional hijack. We don't feel like we're in control anymore, right? With anger or even sadness or even sometimes happiness can go too far. And it tends to feel like you're on the bus ride and someone else has the remote control, or you're you're in the seat of the bus, but the emotions are driving you. Okay, but your emotions don't want to drive you. You want to pay attention to what they have to say, so that you can make conceive of rational steps to take that are going to get you where you want to go. Sometimes just feeling emotional, by the way, is another whole separate thing, but being in an emotional state doesn't mean you have to leave it. But that's another topic, another day. Sometimes the goal is just being emotional and just feeling your emotions. Okay. The good news is that we can learn to manage our emotions with skill and practice. We can learn to manage the signals of our emotions and decide the best action to take. I underscore this idea that with skill and practice. So how do you learn this skill of reading your emotions? Well, this is what I think. I think first what we need to do is we need to understand and accept that we're capable of much more than we think we're capable of. That's the first thing. The other thing is to, I believe, adopt a mindset that I can use some help in getting good at practicing something called mindful awareness when our emotions get triggered. It's this idea that I could use some help. If you're like me and probably millions of other people out there, we have sometimes this front we put up like, I don't really need help. I'm good. I'm fine. Hey, chill. The other idea here to get into, I guess, the right place or space for making this work is that you got to start by being kind to yourself, and you got to treat yourself the way you would treat your best friend. Okay. That's a really good place to start. And I'm talking about if you want to start learning about your emotions, you have to begin to change the way you relate to yourself. So let's just do this quick exercise here. So for a moment, I'd like you to just let go of any assumptions you have about getting in a good emotional, about doing emotional intelligence building. Just drop whatever whatever assumptions you have. And you might be thinking, for example, I don't need this. I'm perfectly okay with being a master of my emotions. If that's how you feel, fine, no problem. Try to accept that whatever resistance you are feeling is totally normal, okay? Whenever you want positive change in your life, accept that the work isn't easy and sometimes not fun at all. I would also say accept that you are imperfect and that building emotional intelligence does not happen overnight. Also, accept that what you are doing right now is an investment in you because you matter. Think of all the things that you invest in: computers, playing games, watching movies, your friends, your car, your house, whatever it is. You might say those are investing in you, but is it really investing in you? Accept that what you are doing right now is an investment in you because you matter, okay? You deserve to feel good about yourself. You deserve to offer yourself the self-care and healing that will be yours when you unlock the mystery of the feeling, of the messages within the feelings that are always there to guide you toward the light of happiness and fulfillment. So with that, I want to just say, breathe and close your eyes for a minute. And all I would like you to do is try to think of the last time you helped somebody out, a friend, a family member, or it could be someone on the street. Anything that you did to help someone else. And closing your eyes helps us to concentrate. So that's why I'm doing this. It's actually a breathing exercise around mindful self-compassion that we're doing. And if you can think of it right now, just recall, what did you do to be kind to that person? And do you remember what you said or what you did that was kind? And I want you to just think about it for a second and remember it. Try to visualize the person if you were near them, and try to visualize what you were doing in this act of kindness for just a few more seconds. Let it sit within you and fill you up. I want to do this. I want you to now take 3 breaths, big ones, slow though, and exhale, that's 1. And 1 more. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. So a little breathing. And so here's the last part of this. I'm going to open my eyes. But I'd like you to keep yours closed, if you could. At this time, I want you to think. I want you to direct the same energy and memory and the feelings of what it was like giving that special person or whomever kindness. And I want you to direct it right at you, yourself, right now. And imagine just for a second, if you actually treated yourself as nicely, as kindly and compassionately as you do other people, what do you think it would do to you if you actually could be this way toward your own self? The reason we did this exercise is so that I could bring you into a state of mind where you would be open to actually going further and actually doing more work around your emotions. And that's how we can start. So I just want to say thank you for coming tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you on my first broadcast here. And if anyone has any Q&A, any questions, rather, any Q, not A, I would be happy to answer them in the chat. So anybody have anything? I'm just taking a look over here. Feel free, and this is no pressure to ask any questions. You don't need to do that. I've gone way over time, and I think YouTube is going to be, I'm going to have to cut this to get this onto YouTube. I didn't realize it was this long, but I guess I was having, time flies when you're having fun. I was really enjoying myself. Okay, last chance. Anyone, any questions? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I got a question. Okay, it says, wait, my favorite singer? Well, I would say like Lana Del Rey, and I also really like Tame Impala right now, and I also really like Pink Floyd. So it's not just one. Favorite color, that's easy, blue. I have another question. How did you come up with this idea? Well, I've been doing some reading, and in some of the books, I've been wishing for a long time to really implement this and do a channel to help people and to invite them, a free kind of thing, so they get to know me. Also, I'm a life coach too, so I also am doing this to let people know out there that I am available if anyone should need me. So, but it is inspirational to me because myself as a person, I'm doing this on my own. I'm 51 years old. So yeah, that was a question. I didn't volunteer that. Someone asked me how old I am. So I'm answering that question. I think that'll be it for now. Someone's asking if I can life coach me. Yeah, definitely. I have some friends in here, and I'm not sure if it's real or not, but I'm going to just give you my email here. I'm going to put it actually in the description, but you can reach me on my email right there. And I'm going to put it in the description, and I'm going to say good night to all of you. Be kind to yourself, and you can be kind to others. All right, peace out. Bye-bye.